of what they put us into. Are you hearing me? With common sense, we're able to ask questions and say no. But Mungo Park came. Before Mungo Park came to our land, were there people living in that place? The answer is yes. We decided, I said yes. There are people that have been living there for millennium. That river, the source of that river, they have been swimming in it. Now, how do we then write in exam that Mungo Park discovered the source of River Niger? And it is pass mark. That is where we started discovering their tricks. What I'm telling you, it goes towards every facet of life, including the government they impose on us, the religion they impose on us. That is why some people still find it insultive to challenge the status quo, even in the religion which we are in. They find, as we are making research pointing out the anomalies in the religion they impose on us. Our people that have been immersed in that mainstream, that it is the way, it is the only way, they see it as insultive, that you are insulting, you are attacking their religion. Do you see how bad it is? I want you to start understanding how bad we have been immersed in their tricks. Here on Radio Biafra, it is the only place that you will hear things that you can never hear in other mainstream media. Here on Radio Biafra, we activate your mindset, your frontal lobe, according to our First Lady, to reason, to subject everything to the altar of reason, to think, not through emotion, not what they say. No, you think about something that makes sense. Subject everything to the balance of truth, to the altar of reason. You subject it. Does this thing make sense? Does this thing make sense? And now you use, because you are endowed with natural brain. We are created with brain to reason, to filter, to know the truth, to know the reality, to understand things. When you fail to make use of that brain, or when you allow your brain to be subjugated into one-way traffic, now you can no longer reverse. You find it difficult. If you see somebody's making you to reason, you see him as insultive. No na akpugi, no na akpo kuperechigi, no na mega attack. No, sir, no ma. What we are doing here is the most important part of this restoration. Are you hearing me? I will touch it today. That is why I want to talk on this topic, civilization, because many people don't understand this word, civilization. When you talk about civilization, many of our people think that it is westernization. There is a great difference between civilization and westernization. There is a very great difference. But our people has been tricked into believing that Western culture is civilization. No. That is why you see many of our people, even some intellectuals, will start defending. Very sad indeed. The Europeans brought civilization to us. Very, very sad indeed. And you ask them, why then do you also accept that ancient Egypt, Babylon, that civilization started from Egypt? Why? Even before Common Era. Why? So you see that we have been lied to. We have been made to accept lies due to vowels, due to, words, English words, which sometimes misinterpreted into our various languages due to misunderstanding and understanding. You hear me? I say misunderstanding and understanding. That is it. That is what is worrying us. So, let me go on direct. There are many things that are happening in our land, but I want to, as I'm speaking, I'll be talking. I will be referring to what is happening in our land. So please listen attentively, and I urge you to invite your friends and well-wishers onto today's broadcast, please. Even do not deny your enemies listening to this voice, the voice of reason on Radio Biafra. Are you hearing me? This is our rallying point, where it all started. You had me play Nonsonkwa's voice. Yes, you had it. Somebody known as a Cubana chief priest. All of us knew. Last few months, he mocked our land. That's all insecurity, that's this and that. He demonized our land. That he's going to Lagos to establish. And off he went. Today, they sealed his property. They sealed his business, citing noise pollution, environmental pollution. There are different things. Nonsonkwa rightly said it. If you cite maybe shitting, the smell of caca in your father's land, and you run, where you are going, remember, you are always a stranger, and they will treat you as such. It is only us, the Igbos, that have this fake, I call it false ideology of Nigeria being our country. Nigeria. We are more Nigerians than anybody. This is one thing we should remove from our head. This has been killing us. This Nigeria as our ideology has been destroying us as a people. That is why we never had any plan B until IPOB came into existence. Even after the war, our people suffered immensely, despite the suffering from the hands of their so-called comrades of Nigeria, the Yoruba and the Hausa, the North and the West, Southwest. 1970, they still went back without thinking. Went back completely as if nothing happened. If I will continue touching on this until our people will start understanding the grievous error which we are neglecting, that our people committed, that is haunting us today. Are you hearing me? Anytime I will continue touching this, because it is foolishness to the highest level. Any country, any person, any people, you tell our story, they will say you people are stupid. You merit your suffering. After 1970, our people went back without, they didn't go there with, they didn't even have any reserve. Everybody embraced Nigeria. Look at the massacres they have in our land, like Asaba massacre. What was the main cause? Our people never had reserve. Let me tell you, and I will maintain it. We, the Igbos, we are the most gullible. This is not an insult, I am among. All. We are the most gullible tribe in Nigeria before God and man. We don't have reserve. We are just like children, baby. You know, I used to say this all the time. You smack a child and he's crying. Before you know, you carry one peppermint or biscuit, give to him. Forget immediately. This is how we behave. How can we pass such type of, genocide without even rocket science, without an external person telling us that, look, you people need to use your brain, use your number 6. Is it not natural that we take precaution from 1970? Even if we are rushing outside everywhere in Nigeria, is it not that we should take precaution and say, look, something happened to us. So 1966, they killed us here. So we went back. Even our leader, Juku, told us to go back, that he had negotiated. And our people went back. Because that time it was just barely 3-4 years, including the war, which means it was so fresh. Our people back, completely forgot to say, nah, we are one Nigeria now. Nothing Mecca, nothing Mecca. Do you see where I have problem with this our mantra, nothing Mecca? I used to say this whenever you see an Igbo man, maybe you are warning him on something. He is in position of something, and you are warning him, say, be careful. Or he tell you, son, no, they are nothing Mega. Because revive that person with a very big slap. Big one slap, yeah, heavy slap. Tetanona, you know, say, why are you slapping now? Tetanona. What is you are in control of what? You are not in control of anything. Aren't you see what is surrounding? Let us take precaution, or you take precaution. It happened to Aguiyi and many of our people, and that's it. Before they know it, it is too late. In 1970, it happened to most Igbo people. Before you know, they rushed away to go outside. The same people that killed them. Even during the war, before the war ended, any Biafran territory that was taken by the Nigerian army, many people foolishly, they will come out to support. Hey, we are one Nigeria. No. Hey. They will gather them, line them up, and open fire and kill all their males mostly. Because they have no reserve. They think, our people think that the world is like this. It's just like this. The world is very sweet. It's just straightforward. Let me tell you, the world we are living is highly corrugated, corrupted. There are many things involved. The more you look, the less you see. You have to be, sophisticated in order to navigate through to the position you aspire in this world as a people. That's why there is something I put on my timeline. There is one man, I don't know the name of the guy. He's an American. Hispanic was interviewing him, and he was vomiting all types of racial slurs. That is his ideology. That is what his belief. That America should not be taken over by immigrants or people, the Hispanics or black people or strangers, in alien, he called them. That they should be like Europe, where white people remains in control in perpetuity. Are you hearing it? And he went on to say, he went on to say that, look, that the white people are more intelligent than blacks. He said it. I don't know whether to play it here. I don't know. No, but there is no need. Let me just describe it. And I just watch on the comment section. Some people mix reaction. Somebody wrote that, look, no, this man is a racist, this and that. I say, why? Can you prove him wrong? Can you prove him wrong? Let us stop this racist, this and prove him wrong. Finish. And there go. We are in. Let us understand the dynamics of this world. The more you are brutal, not as an individual, as a people, the more brutal you are, the more you become successful. Belgium today their king committed the highest atrocity. The Jewish Holocaust does not even, is not up to what Belgium King Leopold committed in Congo. More than 15 million to 20 million people being slaughtered at will. He killed for fun. But today, Belgium is high. You know, the other time, the king of Belgium went to visit, I think last year or last 2 years, visited Congo. And I was watching Congolese dancing, showcasing dancing in order to welcome the king, the ancestor. I mean, from the ancestry of King Leopold that massacred millions of them. And that day I was watching it. But that is, I don't know how I turned red. There I understood that, look, ignorance is the highest killer. I'm telling you honestly. So, what this man vomited, I said, can you prove him wrong? They're on top. The more brutal you are in this world as a people, the more you advance your brutality and your conquering spirit, the more respected you become. Look at current example, the Fulani. Who talks against them? Tell me. Nigerians are taking it as the normal. Being killed by Fulani now is nothing. It's a normal thing. Anywhere. Now Fulani they kill us. Oh, now Fulani hates men. They destroyed my farm. Anyway, I leave it for God though. This is the cry of the weakling. They are programmed to look at the weakest people, the most gullible people, Igbos, to hate. Because they see us as water. You cannot react. Waters cannot react. Water is as neutral as water. That's why any debts you have, you wash it inside water. Because it cannot react. You know, it accepts everything. Go and acid, hydrochloric acid and all the rest of them. They look like water, colorless and harmless as water. Go and wash your hand in acid now. It will show you. So you don't try it. You respect it. Because it reacts. But water, hey, clothes you go and wash. You carry waka bag. You do your business inside the toilet. You flush it out with what? Water. You don't try it with acid. Acid will tell you that it is acid. So that is what is happening in our land. And that is the natural process. That is the dynamics of power in the whole world. That is how the world works. Europeans are respected today because they conquered the whole world. They subjugated millions, if not billions of people. Killed billions. I say billions, like Bible. B, not M, million, no. Today they are respected. And they are still talking tough. In Nigeria today, the caliphate that killed us, they are still talking tough. Because we have not reacted as it's supposed to be. That is the dynamics of the world. The more brutal you are as a people, the more respect you gather. In Nigeria, who cares? Fulani headsmen, they kill with impunity. Have you ever seen where the Nigerian DSS or the Nigerian police is showcasing Fulani headsmen killers? The other time, they showcase, they said they captured kidnappers from Sokoto, Kano, Adamawa, Bauchi, in Imo State. All they concentrate on kidnapping and killing Imo students. And you know what? They didn't show their face. If you watch the photo in Sahara Reporters, they didn't show their faces. their backs, they show only their backs. Their backs, so so that after the interview, they will say they have taken them to court, they have taken them to police, they release them. So that their face will not be known by the public. Because they are organized killers. But we as a people, we have been eaten deep with selfishness. That's why only one and in his own way. Go your level and go my level. And collectively, we become walking stock. We become cannon fodders. We become just rubbish in Nigeria. Because what matters to us is our individual interests. That is how it is. And that is why anything that happens is Igbo. They will live, that is what is happening. That is it. I want you to understand. I want to provoke you into understanding the dynamics of the world. The more you become brutal, the more you become respected. But if you think, oh, I'm peaceful, we are peaceful people. Oh, peaceful, peace. You become, garbage dump. You become garbage dump. Nothing more. Are you hearing me? You become garbage dump. So, I want people to listen attentively, please. Because Ntebonka. So that's a brother, in the comment section. I told him, can you prove this person wrong, making this racist slur? He said it because he can. What can you prove? What can you bring to the table to showcase that you are superior? Yes. Tell me. Organization, you cannot even organize. You are inorganizable. In any way. So, how can you prove that you are not inferior in the world? How can you prove that you are not less intelligent than the whites? Tell me. When you see it as a miracle by God to give you visa to travel to Germany, to America, what are you trying to insinuate? That you are inferior? Whereas a German the Nigerian embassy will be trying to lure them, beg them to come and visit Nigeria, come and visit Africa. But it is a miracle, divine miracle for you to be in London. And when they tell you that you are inferior, you are annoyed. No. I am not annoyed. It is true. Until we prove that we are not through our actions. That is when it's not through talking, no, through actions. The world will respect you. We become respected. You earn respect. You don't beg for respect. That is what our Igbo politicians don't understand. In a situation, Nigerian situation, you command, you earn your position. You understand? Don't you see Tinubu? Tinubu threatened, and today he's the president. He says it's my turn. It's what we agreed. They wanted to do him mago-mago. The Northerners. They wanted to do him mago-mago. Say, well, put this one. He said, if you people try it, I am one of you. I know the whole secret. Nigeria will cease to exist. And they saw that he's not playing. They have to laugh and say, okay. You become the president. Whereas our own man, a motivational speaker, he goes to every church, they pray for him. Oh, miracle. Oh, today, maybe you might understand one or two things, please, in this program. That is why today I want to talk about, here we dish out bitter pills that heals. I am sick and tired of talking black is beauty. Which beauty? Tell me, please. Which beauty? Black is beautiful. Electricity we cannot have in Nigeria. And you are look, and you are, a present blacks. Are you insane? Are you insane? Stop claiming right in Europe, in America, as a black man. Even if you have their passport, be thankful. Because you as an individual, you are nothing. It's the system makes you something, gives you a blue passport, which you are gallivanting with. Otherwise, you are nothing. So you are hiding under the cloak of their intelligence in order to try, to make mouth. What on nothing? What on until we showcase, until we prove. That is it. Therefore, as I said, the topic of my submission today is just civilization. I want to go into it very quickly. It will be brief anyway. Civilization. As I was saying, when you hear about people talk about civilization, they say West. They give an example. Oh, West. No, Sanoma. No, my comrades. It is not. It is not. Civilization is the stage of human, social, and cultural development and organization that is considered most advanced. Most advanced. Remember the words there. Stage of human, social, number one, and cultural. And when you go to look the meaning of social, it says relating to society or its organization. So civilization is not talking about the individual. It's about social. Social means, relating to society or its organization. So you must be organized in order to be referred to as civilized. When you go back to society, it means it is the aggregate of people living together in a minor or less ordered community. In a more or less ordered community, sorry. So, civilization goes with community. Your individualism does not prove whether you are civilized or not. It is about the system. That is why I used to give this example. Oh, you are a billionaire. They come to your village. You are the only person that has a skyscraper, that has electricity, solar energy, solar power, or any other type of power, windmill, or you build your own private dam. You have electricity right from main road, street light to your house. Every other place is dark. And you come with your friends from Texas. You think that they will praise you? You think that they will look at you as a human being? The same way in the night when they look, the whole building, other buildings are huts, slum houses. In the night, everywhere is dark. Only you that is booming. You have everything in your mansion. You think that the strangers, they will look at you as a human being. They will take you the same, with equal measure, the same measure they take others. They will ask you, but why are you the only person that have electricity and a nice house? No, I'm one. I am a cohesion for two. No, one. Everything one. I am the first person that this and that one. You boss, they will look at you as an idiot. They will judge you with your community. That is how civilization is rated. And culture is simply defined as the ideas, customs, and the social behavior of a particular people or society. Customs, ideas, social behavior of a particular people or a society. Every society have their way of behavior. That is their value. That is their custom. So when civilization entices all this as a people, not as an individual, that is why I used to tell you, it doesn't matter. You have a private project. You are a billionaire in our land. You are nothing. Because they take you the same way they take any other person in the society. Foreigners. I used to give this example. Once you carry Nigerian passport, You are doomed. You're a criminal. Look at what they are doing in UAE. Even in its Nigerian government. They gather. I listen to many distress WhatsApp messages. UAE, Dubai. They catch Nigerians like rats. Both the people, they said he's a teacher. He's teaching in British school. You are working, you have your car. Somebody say even he have his Mercedes GLK parked on the roadside. They caught him with the key. They deported him to Nigeria and never to go back to Dubai. Because in Dubai, once they are deporting you, they take your biometric eye. It doesn't matter for any passport. Once you enter in, once you come in, they know your data. You cannot enter. Now it's Dubai for you. Do you see it? Do you see that we are all in the same mess? You that has maybe you are well to do financially and you are feeling that no, it no concern you. The same way, as long as you are carrying that green evil passport, you are in the same mess. Verify you the same, because that is the system that binds everybody. You know that. Dangote, the richest man in Africa, he said for a long time he stopped traveling with Nigerian passport because of the embarrassment. Do you think that people at the airport, they know, they care who you are? What matters is maybe you are following, maybe as a diplomat, you follow diplomatic channel or service. But once they look at you as a Nigerian, even a diplomat, they look at you. They become alert. He said he is tired of being seen as a criminal in every port of entry. Not only in Europe or America, even in Africa. They don't care. You are the richest man. I beg you, are Nigerian. That cloak covers you. That is why civilization is about group of people, nation, community, country, not about an individual. Have the highest civilized character on earth as an individual. The system you are in covers you. That's why I used to give this example. Dangote, the richest man, he stops traveling with Nigerian passport because of the embarrassment as a Nigerian. You see, as a Nigerian, look at Biget. If Biget comes anywhere, he's the president, that the highest official that we go and welcome him with a red carpet. Do you see that? The same category. You're almost the same with Dangote. Yeah. If you see an American, a homeless man, an American that does not have nothing, I want you to try this. If you can, try it. A homeless American that lives in the street like shabby, like anything. You buff him. Obtain a American passport for him because he's a citizen. You pay his flight ticket. Say, let us travel to Nigeria. He's not, maybe he couldn't afford to pay his rent, so they booted him out of his house, and he lives on the street for years. But once he arrives in Nigeria with the American passport, they will give him the maximum respect. Do you think that they are respecting him as an individual? Is the cloak, the system that covers him, that is what they are respecting him on. That is the reason why they are respecting him. So that is why it is the most important thing for people is to build a society, to build a system, because that is the system that covers everybody. This is the secret we Igbos does not understand. We Igbos do not understand. We thought that individualism is the key. But I'm telling you, that is primitive character. You know, I used to say it. It's a highly primitive character. When you think that, that is why, I say an Igbo man, once he gets a small money, he will be seeing his radius, his 100-meter radius as the whole world. The thing used to make it's an embarrassing even. It's an embarrassing to us. You know, somebody on a misbehave, thinking that the whole world is rotating around him. You don't know that he is nothing. Look at this our brother, Kubana chief priest. Look at him. Only one policy, you are gone. And what are you hear? That's why that music came up. And I hate that music. He played with another intention. I don't care. But that music, I hate it with. I say, Kendi no Kendi onye kebo. You gotta go moto na showcase your moto. You cannot manufacture. Now your place. You go to your place. You know, I go to your village. Okay, in a mansion. You are no electricity. You use you dig a borehole for yourself because there is no pipe on water. No central pipe bomb water. Electricity, you put it by yourself. And you say, you are nothing. And we're unable until we prove to the world how organizable we could be. What I'm telling you, that is what we preach here on Radio Biafra. So do not forget that I'm talking about civilization. The order or organization of a society depicts the extent of the people's civilization. That is why, the environment, people's environment showcases their level of intelligence. Take this word to the bank. When you see the environment, people's environment, it showcases the level of the people's intelligence. Because if your intelligence is above that environment, you must find a way in order to, your people organize. What I mean, you are not one person. The collective intelligence of that community must find a way in order to ameliorate, to innovate that situation, upgrade it to their intelligence. That is the truth. That is the truth. I used to say this. If, for example, you bring a group of white people, maybe from one community in Germany, Koblenz, you displace them, bring them to, let's say, in Abeokuta. Remove the indigenous, put them there. Before long, those Germans will turn that Abeokuta to their taste. They will build it and it become like that Koblenz in Germany, their place. And when you take the people from Abeokuta, take them to the same Koblenz, you take all of them, put them to Koblenz as their home now in Germany. Let me tell you, before long, they will degrade that all those infrastructures, all those things they made there, they will now degrade it to their own intelligence. Before long, even Koblenz, they will cut no more electricity because they will be pirating electricity. It's normal. That is their intelligence. No pay. Wow. Electricity, I can do it without paying. I can. Before you know, they will deteriorate everything. It showcases their collective intelligence. When they are doing it, they think that they are doing other people. They think that they are smart. Are you hearing me? Before long, they will be clamoring to get visa to go back to their land in Abeokuta that is now built, upgraded to the German community. What I'm telling you is facts. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is fact. It's true. That's why an average Nigerian, just when you look at it, the mindset, You want to spoil something. You want to free my money I pay you in a hotel when you go I'll get my towel on an email hotel. Now we're going. Then what on you got here? That is the level of civilization he has. Are you hearing me? I don't know. But when the line opens, people will call it, please. I'm talking about civilization. Okay, as I was saying, the order or organization of a society depicts, showcases the extent of the people's civilization. Therefore, considering the untamed characters of most of our people, it is highly untamed. That is savage character. Why the character of many of our people? The extreme greed and selfishness. Could you consider us civilized? Is a question. Yes, you have money. Yes, you can get money. You know how to make money. Nah, I know how to make money. It doesn't make you civilized. Are you hearing me? Civilization is about organization. It's the highest point of human behavior. It's about organization. That's why the Fulani they are on top, because they are more civilized. For your information, when I talk it, many people will misunderstand me. They are organized, loyal, disciplined to their cause. It's a civilization. Can you do it? Can you do it? Where you take your private selfish interest to be more than our collective interest. No, come on, maybe share here. Yeah, our animal character now. Is it not? But Fulani, they have been loyal since 1804. That is why they're on top. That is why they're on top. You that is organizable. When they tell you no, come back, or then now you pay my money. Now you pay my transport fare to Adamawa. Why should I come back? Waiting. I beg, you go give me money when I come back. I've been you this and that. You must find 1 million excuses. Do you remember when they always called the Fulani or the North, say, come back home? Immediately, they will all line up in a motorcade. Hundreds, if not thousands of motorcade coming up. They don't ask questions. That is discipline. And that is civilization. You know that? Because, yes, you see that many of them will live, it doesn't matter how meager is their business, but they live it. Because they know that the reason why they are being told this is more important than that their individual interests. Can you do that? That's why in 1970 everybody run back to the north. Not all anyway. Not all. A few have a brain and stayed back. And now go on. Because I could remember when my father, he said he stayed back till from 1970 to 1976. He stayed back in the village. People were mocking him. But you no. Until 1976, when Allah was made a municipal council or something like that. That's why he stayed there. You see. Oh, our people run to the north without brain. And you say we are civilized, primitive set of people we are. I call one so that I couple stupidity from our brain. That word on the women, who are you? Okay. Remember, a society is organized by law based on her value systems. That is culture. The value system is culture. You know, when we preach about going back to our values, to our culture, to our roots, many people maliciously, I could say, misinterpret it. Now I just say, I go, I just see if let people When will ignorance be removed or mischief be removed from our people? Our culture of onyaga na nwanne, our culture of productivity, cultivating what we consume. This is our culture. We didn't have culture of importation. No. We have a culture of working hard, feeding ourselves. But all those things are destroyed. Miracle everywhere. When somebody could say he will wear apron, choosing apron, and they shoot him gone, nothing. They shoot him gone, nothing. What do you think? That is complete destruction of who we are into accepting nonsense. Okay. Whenever there is division, okay, so societal developments always takes root of their values. Whenever there is division in their agreements to the way forward, it could result to civil war. Example, for more than 80 years after the declaration of American independence in 1776, people in the northern and southern states had been debating the issues that ultimately led to the Civil War of 1861 to 1865. This is the America you are enjoying today. They fought civil war after their independence. Lack of cohesion in their value, agreement to their value. It took them more than 80 years, I think 85 years. And it busted direct into civil war. It accumulated into civil war. How are we going to run our country? That is why when I see people saying, no, leave when Biafra come, now we will start. You be able to maintain law. How will you be able to even establish that law? Is it a law that will fall from heaven? Is it not human beings will agree and say, okay, look at what should govern us as a people? Without one major ideology governing us, we will never agree to make that law. It can accumulate into civil war. That is what accumulated into civil war after American independence. 85 years after American independence. In our people, we think that everything is very easy. Talk is very easy now, very cheap. When it comes to doing, there you'll understand. The hardest thing on earth is to control human beings. Are you hearing me? That is the hardest job. Talk less of our people. That Nigeria had, destroyed our mentalities. With other different things, destroyed our mentalities. With people gone for hire, mercenaries everywhere. People that are ready to work for other foreign countries for meager amount of money. For promotion. I mean, for even having the country's passport. Will agree on making a common law to govern us. Okay. Economic policies and practices, cultural values, and most importantly, the rule of slavery within American society. These are what accumulated into the American Civil War, because they did. Some agreed. Some say that no, slavery should be abolished. They're not. The South said no. We must extend the slavery, internal buying and selling of slaves. We shall not give them any rights. No. Do you see? That is what accumulated into civil war in America. Okay, let me continue. Britain conquered us, destroyed our civilization, and used the amalgamation of Nigeria to continue destroying us as a people by promoting, encouraging, and supporting us into engaging in savagery. Engaging in savagery. Maybe you might be thinking that I'm using an extreme word. No, it is not. I will see it later. Encouraged and supporting us into engaging in savagery, extreme greed, and selfishness, which is naturally against our values, just to survive under the Nigeria setting. Are you hearing me? Now, let me give you this example. I want to read on the news, one of the news in Icon News. What is happening? IPOB uncovers crystal meth production sites in Imo. Says drug runners turning Olo into Colombia of Africa. Now listen, this is our own people. These people, the owners of this evil and wicked business, they are the people that they will come to, festivities, marriages, and all this, be spraying money. People will be saying, I tap from their blessing. Then we go to churches and give more than anything. They will buy chieftaincy title with money. Oh, very bad. Now let me read. IPOB uncovers crystal meth production sites in Imo. Says drug runners turning Olo into Colombia of Africa. A member of the IPOB Directorate of State, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, has narrated how the IPOB M Branch Intelligence Corps identified the crux of criminality. That is the main base, the main source of criminality, crime spike that has bedeviled Imo State for the past years in Imo State, primarily in Olu Zone, where criminals masquerading as Biafra agitators has continued to terrorize indigenes, residents, and travelers. Mazi Chinasa, in a post on his verified X handle, stated that the criminality ongoing in Olu Zone and Imo State at large has nothing to do with Biafra agitation. He questioned the strategic significance of Olu and its environs in military and territorial terms, and why it has been an area of concentration for criminals masquerading as Biafra agitators, and posited that there is absolutely none, as Imo State is not geographically located in the boundaries of Biafra land, neither does it have any tactical military advantage against the Nigerian security agencies apparatus to warrant the violence ongoing in this axis. Are you listening? He went further to say that the criminality in Olo is being fueled by drug-running syndicates owned by 6 Olo indigenes, identity withheld, who are returnees from South Africa. These criminal elements has production sites of the notorious crystal meth, locally known as Mkurumini, littering across the horizon, and distributions are made through hotels which they own in various places, especially in the Owerri metropolis, Imo State capital. He also stated that most socialite billionaires, the Nigeria security agencies, the Imo State government are aware of these crimes and are directly involved in it, either by receiving commissions from the drug peddlers to buy out their silence, or directly involved in its peddling, citing the case of the disgraced Super Cop Abba Kyari, who was detained and prosecuted for involvement in drugs distribution a few years back. Where is that Abba Kyari today? No, they're not. I admire them. They know how to bring down everything, calm everything, and people will forget. Are you hearing me? He also stated that most socialite billionaires, okay. Furthermore, he posited that the killings ongoing in this axis are mostly inspired by the drug runners, per intelligence gathering by the M branch of IPOB. Finally, he vowed that IPOB leadership has resolved to go after these drug syndicates, since the Nigerian security agencies will not do so. Read the statement in full. Okay. The statement says, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, do not believe all you see on social media. Remember, crimes and dubious businessmen take advantage of any situation to progress their businesses. They are nefarious businesses. What is happening these days in our law in Imo State is beyond the Biafra agitation. Anyone can claim. As long as IPOB exists, we know what happens in Biafra land more than any other intelligence group. Since the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many people have refused or have used his name to commit many crimes, just as many others have used the name of ESN and IPOB leadership in committing many crimes against our people in Biafra land. Presently, what is happening in Olo these days is caused by some Omuaka Olo indigenes who brought their drug business down to their villages. They have gradually turned their towns into Colombia of Africa, where drug businesses have become the order of the day. There are 6 Olo indigenes who are returnees from South Africa. The only investment they could manage to bring into their town is setting up production sites for hard drugs. These guys own hotels in Owerri, and these hotels serve as distribution centers where other dealers operate from. Hope the mass government and the Nigerian security operatives know about this, and the majority of those behind these killings are because of their drug businesses. For your information, more than 10 factories producing dangerous hard drugs are in Omuaka Olo. They produce crystal meth, popularly called Mpurummiri, in commercial quantities. Drug enforcement agencies in Nigeria knows this, but covering such businesses when bribed is one of their code of conduct. Remember Abakiari, who operated in Imo State years back, the former police boss who later was detained because of his sting with drug business. Most of those Igbo social media billionaires around him are having the same sting on drug businesses. We are after all of them that have decided to destroy Biafra land with the hard drug businesses, and criminals operate under such cover. One question is, what are they defending in those villages in Olo? If one could ask, could it be they are defending Biafra boundaries in Olo, or are they defending their drug businesses, production sites? This is a question that needs to be answered. So, what am I trying to say? You see, because of lack of civilization, that is primitivity, these people could be used to turn against their own people. That is betrayal. Do you know that? Do you know that during the Cold War, I know it's still happening today, you see some people being recruited by either CIA or KGB or vice versa because of their greed for money. Number one, lust for money. When your enemy see that, they will use it against you. That is treason. Because the person lacks civilization. You know, civilized people, they take collective interests more important than their personal interests. Because our collectivity outweighs our individualism. That is why I used to say in this hallowed platform, without we, there will be no me. How can I explain this more? How else can I explain this? These people that are producing this, they allow them. The Nigerian government, they know what they are doing. They allow the greed of some of our people. They use it as a weapon against our collective interest. Do you know what hard drugs do to people? Do to youths? They turn people into zombies. They turn people, it has very, very nefarious effects on the people. These few individuals, out of their extreme greed and selfishness, they are collaborating with the Nigerian government in order to destroy our people. When some individuals set up commercial hard drug factories in their own villages just to satisfy their extreme greed and selfishness, without caring about the community's lives being wasted on daily basis, what will you call such people? Calling them animals could be an insult to the animal family, animal kingdom, honestly. Because most animals protect their own communities. These people are uncivilized and primitive Homo sapiens. Because, primitive animals, they can eat their own. Dog eats dog. Are you hearing me? That is what we call these people. Primitive. And these are the people that, they will be living flamboyant lives, setting bad examples for youths in order to imitate them. Because that is the main source of our problem also. When these people are exhibiting extreme flamboyancy, spreading money, you don't even understand how they get it. Instead of exhibiting hard work, telling people to work, this is how to make money. Instead, they exhibit money. That is why crimes everywhere. Because people want to get, miracle money, money through ritual. Egombute. No more. Look at Eba Boy in our land. Something that helped us, that took us as a race out of the messy situation Nigeria put us when they gave us 20 pounds. Look at it. Eba Boy. Is Eba Boy, did we learn Eba Boy from University of Wisconsin? No, I ask people. Oh, is Britain that brought us the knowledge of Eba Boy? This is part of our root, who we are. Indentured servitude is part of our culture. Do you see one of the reasons when I say go back to our roots? Many people that mock it or disdain it, I become personally annoyed because they are either ignorant or mischievous. Look at just a fraction of our culture that we applied as a people in difficulty. We went back to our roots. And today, it brought wealth to us. Just a fraction. Eba Boy, indentured servitude. It's part of our culture. Today, they are destroying it. Today, the societal, the bad society is trying to destroy our one part of our culture, because our people are no longer patient. Our youths are no longer patient. You know why? They see all this. Some of them are criminals that are exhibiting their ill-gotten money on the social media, and our youth, they want to be like him. So they do anything. They no longer give example of na abakwaram boy 5 years or 6 years. Or look at they no, all those ones are gone. Eba Boy is just a fraction of some little fraction of our roots, which we applied, and we saw how we are seeing the positive result. It took us out of poverty, which Nigeria government blessed us, thinking that we shall be beggars after the civil war. Igbos shall be beggars all over Nigeria. We went back to our roots. I said no. We went back to our roots, and it worked. Now, why can't we go back to our roots also in other different ways? By cultivating what we eat, by producing things, by showcasing ourselves, how to make things happen, by promoting work. Why can't we go back to our roots in doing that, so that we progress? That is our own civilization, but we neglected it. Are you hearing me? Look at people came, they went, and what they learned from abroad is, destruction of lives by producing hard drugs, fabricating hard drugs, and they brought it back to their village, and they employ gangsters everywhere, arm them, giving percentages to Nigerian police and Nigerian military and Nigerian government, because that is what Nigerian government wants. They want our people to be zombie. They want to destroy our race by any means. Therefore, when you see any of these people that is helping Nigeria, look at him as a betrayer, not a billionaire, not a wealthy man. No, he is a betrayer of our race. This is the difference between us and the Fulani. Fulani, when they see that you are a betrayer of their race in any way, they visit you. It doesn't matter who you are. They pay you visit. And that visitation will be your last. Others will cool. Do you see the difference? Because you must remove the bad eggs. Otherwise, they will corrupt others. Our people will now cultivate a strange culture of praising evil. What matters is the money. You see people writing, I tap from your blessing. This is where I become mad. I tap from your blessing. When you want to know, because you're now go and make money like him. Do you make money like him? Our land is going into abyss, if not for IPOB. Our land is heading towards abyss, promoting evil. Because the worst part of it is that we have enemies everywhere, and they are using you. If you become a willing tool, they promote you. They allow you. Now, do you remember how the CIA used imported drug and use it to deal with the black Americans? Maybe you know what I'm saying. Let me go back more. Do you remember the Opium Wars in China? The 2 Opium Wars by Britain. Britain was in 18th century. 2 wars. They call it in history the Opium Wars. The Opium Wars by Britain. Are you hearing me? Yes. The Opium Wars. Yes. It was waged by Britain against China. Do you know how what started it? The first Opium War was 1839 to 1842. It's not a long time. 1839 to 1842 between China and Britain. Are you hearing me? It was triggered by the Chinese government's campaign to enforce its prohibition of opium, which included destroying opium stocks owned by British merchants and the British East Indian Company, Britain. You know, I told you at the beginning that the more a people becomes brutal. Look, to gain power as a country, it's not an easy something. No? Every weapon must be used. The highest cruelty, the people that exhibited the highest cruelty in the world are the people on top. Europeans now. That's why Christianity. I don't know how to say it again. People that exhibited the highest form of cruelty in this world we are in. And they defended their religion. We are sometimes how do we understand this? How? Do you know that Britain, in order to subjugate China, in the middle 19th century. They were imported, and not British government encouraging the importation of opium from India, from Afghanistan, from Asia, bringing it in order to destroy the Chinese population. Do you know that? It's a weapon of war. Anything can be used as a weapon against the people. Do you know that? Chinese dynasty, Chinese king started objecting. He started seeing, started getting reports that look, his people are being drug addicted. They sell the drugs almost next to nothing in the streets of China by Britain. Britain. These people use any type of weapon they could find. That is why our people don't understand the dynamics of this world. Look at some of our people, because of money, they bring drug factory in their own village. Hey, Britain, how Chinekele? What Britain used, and China objected. China objected, said no, stop bringing drug to our country. No, we're all our people, giving people drug free, almost free of charge. Youths started being drug addicts. Once you are a drug addict, you become nothing. You are a minus to the society, because here was your imbecile. Are you hearing me? An imbecile, Britain used it. And when China want them to stop, Britain said no, that they are making their cells importation. You let up Britain. You let the war, the first war. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You let the war. Now, Britain, because they are always trying to find a way in order to stock up the problem, to defeat a country. Once a country has a conquering tendency, they will never stop. It's like, that is what the Fulani, that is their way. Once they see a people that is so cheap to them, before God and man, they cannot stop until you raise equal and opposite reaction to what they are doing. You cannot stop it by begging. Hey, I want to be Nigerian president. If Peter Obi tomorrow becomes Nigerian president, he is there as a figurehead. He can't do nothing, for goodness sake. I don't know. I don't know. How do we say this on Radio Biafra? Okay, they are outside now. So our people now are beacon. It will just be there as a figurehead, just to give you our people sense of belonging, fake sense of belonging. That anything. But what happened during Jonathan time? What happened? Although in his village, did anything positive happen there? The answer is no. They are still drinking the same water they are pouring into till today. Britain used drug in order to destroy Chinese population. I say in this world, anything is allowed. As long the condition is, as long as you can get away with the consequences. You are not powerful until you exhibit it. When you compete and you claim you are powerful. You cannot be powerful for nothing. That is the rule of the world. Are you hearing me? That is the rule of the world. We are in a world of ikeketorie. The only difference is that it is not individual. It's a people, organized people that can be conquering, that can be conquerors. You must be organized, focused towards one direction in order to achieve your national objective. Otherwise, you can't do nothing. Is it the people that are having identity crisis? Some people are still, I'll be Chukwuemeka, but I'm not Igbo. Is it the people that we gather and say, oh yeah, let us fight for our, go and conquer others? Is it? No. This is a world of you conquer or be conquered. There is no neutral place. You rise up and become powerful, or the more powerful bring you down. And as they have closed the big Cubana, Chief Priest Cubana shop in Lagos. He will be rattling. He will now go to Ozadema. Ozadema will follow back. He had go and beg the Lagos governor. Begging. Always begging. You are at the mercy of these people. Always begging. No rights, but privileges. They will give you privilege. Maybe after some time they will open it back. And he will shout, you see, after Ozadema is gone, another player, one day they will just close it and even bring it down on 80. You see, now because I be, but that's why now you always complaining. I know now, always complaining. Rise up and support and do something you will not. That is why I am saying here on this hallowed platform, you must support what we are doing. Must support ESN. You can make contact. IPOB added $1 million or €1 million. We are not begging for Babayalla. No. We are not beggars, Babayalla. No. Now, when you look at the money, the coins you are no more using, you throw it to. No, we are not. You can call us and give us anonymously $1 million, $500,000, 500,000 euro. Any Swiss franc, any amount to give us. And to pry I know as Nkata said. Not always complaining. It is high time we come equal to the task. If we continue complaining, the world does not listen to complain. The world listens to when you rise up and you start fighting. They will come to separate, say, okay, now what is the problem? Now you explain as equal. But whenever, hey, they are killing us. Now look at government should run and come to our aid. South Sudan fought for 39 good years of war. Today they are free. The time came, America, the international community said no. Pressure rose on them. They did what they didn't want to do. They said, these people, they merit their freedom. They have been fighting, dying everywhere. So let us meditate. Let them have their country. Because as a black nation, you don't understand the type of racial hatred. Forget about the diplomacy. They want Africans to be annihilated from this planet Earth so that they will take over what is under our soil. Don't you know that? So if we continue complaining, they are laughing. They will give us a say, don't worry, go and write more paper. Go and submit to United Nations. Don't worry, maybe if you come out, they laugh. They look at you and laugh. They look at the Ashlog. The Germany. I was like, no man, no here. Rise up and do something. Join what you are doing. Because whether you like it or not, accept it or not, IPOB is the face of our liberation. IPOB is leading what we are doing today. That is it. Are you hearing me? So, you must support what we are doing. Now, let me conclude by saying, Nigeria is using the extreme greed of most of our people as a very potent weapon against our race. They simply allow the greed to grow uncontrolled because they know that it is dog eating dog. So when they have a mini factory in Olo, who are they killing? Who are consuming it? Igbo people. When the owners come, the government will give them military escorts. They will carry heavy cars. They wear different types of regalia. And also, they will be promoted so that they continue killing our race. That is part of the war. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? As the Nigerian government has failed us, and nature abhors vacuum. You know, nature abhors vacuum. IPOB is here as a state actor in order to control the excesses of some of our people, which has been unleashed against us with the total support of the Nigerian government. IPOB shall never shy away from her responsibility of leading us towards the way to civilization. You know, there is a brother, Mazi that called the other day. He brought about Rwandan president. No, we should be careful about this and that. I said, look, I don't know. Anyway, sometimes some of our people, it depends on the news you consume. You act like that. But I suggest that we make our own researches also. Stop consuming American news. American mainstream media. It makes you, when you come out to speak, people will laugh at you, honestly speaking. You start Fox News, anything you say, this is because I have found out these people, the most important weapon of this 21st century is the media. The West, they can use media to bring you down. They can use media to bring a government down. They will paint them the way the population will see them as that's why I don't, you see all this Western media. Maybe if I want to just listen to them for a fraction of minutes, or I just want them to, I want to know how they are reporting some issues. You know, let me say this. In order to build a nation, you need iron hand. Do you hear me well? Mostly, like in our land, you need iron hand, iron fist. That's why I don't blame Paul Kagame. Never. You see this democracy, you know, that's why our people, many of our people in America, they look at the world only through the vision of America. It's a fault also. I'm addressing our Biafrans. Stop looking at this world through American prism, through their vision. That is the way they see the world, the way they paint the world to you. Please. Try to balance equations with your brain. I am telling you. Do you see this so-called democracy? It can never work. The version of democracy they impose on us in Africa, in Nigeria, it can never work. Never. You know, let me tell you something. During the Cold War, America, CIA, KGB, that is a Soviet secret service. Each of them use blackmail and greed in order to lure, to buy opponents as agents, to betray their countries. Are you hearing me? When they go to Interior Ministry, when they go to maybe White House, they scavenge and get somebody that can be able to be given, furnishing them, that will betray them. It is either blackmail, they use blackmail, or the person's greed, personal greed, love for money. In America, in Russia, the same thing. Or disgruntled fellow. They know. But let me tell you, in Africa, in Nigeria, they don't even need any other person, because the president of Nigeria is their agent. They have no secrets. Every state secret in the table of the president of Nigerian president, he sent it to America. Because they don't need to even, they don't need to start recruiting this person. The president, the issue many in Hanaka. That is the democracy. Because before they put him there, before he become the president, he signed, he is their agent. Do you see the difference? In other countries, they will scavenge for a high-level official or low-level official in order to recruit him or her anywhere. But in the case of Nigeria, the highest officer, the number one person in the country is their agent. So what do you think? That's why you see Fulani herdsmen are destroying everywhere, destroying farms. And revelation is being made by a specialist. Dr. Njemanze is not anyhow person. He's an authority in what he's saying. Nigerian government never said, let us investigate this. They never call for senatorial review or investigation by the Senate. Instead, that person that is where Njemanze point, they welcome him with red carpet. He meets Tinubu at will. Why so? Because of democracy. Before any person becomes president, he will sign, CIA will meet him. He will meet down the street. He will agree everything. He will sign the secret pact direct to be the agent. He has nothing to hide. That is how it is. So that is the democracy they put on us. That is why you see what happened in Mali, in Burkina Faso and Niger. It is a very big blow to them. Because they see a Neanderthal or some Neanderthals that are telling them no. For them, it never happened before. Since the resistance, since the African resistance against colonialism, they never see this before. And it baffles them. So, when you see any country that is trying to emerge from the grip of neocolonialism, it's not easy. Biafra, easy in order to run away from the grip of the West, because they have stationed their agents. Oh, people don't understand. I'm telling you. They are now waiting, because, the West, they prepare for 50 years coming, 100 years coming. Whereas you are planning for now, tomorrow, now. Nechi. Even Nechi yourself, Bible says you don't think about tomorrow. That tomorrow will think about himself. But Britain is planning for 100 years in time. So, they have manufactured the agents that are ready-made weapons. In case Biafra comes tomorrow, in case if it comes next year, in case if it is 5 years, in case if it is the next 10 years, they have planned everything. People that they will use to cause a problem everywhere. But we are equal to the task. We must set the pace. So, what am I trying to say? We must exhibit civilization, or the highest form of civilization, in order to earn our space in this planet Earth. For you that is listening to me, maybe you are not an IPOB member. Not everybody must be an IPOB member, but you're a Biafran. You can simply make contact. I've been saying this. Make contact and say, please, connect them to the leadership. We shall simply do it. I want to actually forget about people that have used the name of IPOB. Now you think that no, so this thing. No. It is not how this is. we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. The leadership of this struggle, we are moving forward to restore our nation. So you have to support us. You have to support us. Because I used to see where anything that happened, people will say, hey, we are ESN then, we are APOB, and they now say, Anabaka cho. Anabaka elewata ize. Anabaka chi henata. We must continue in what we are doing. This is where I'm going to stop. But let me read this before I go into a few minutes break. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, there is no ESN commander called Caterpillar. Kindly disregard this order because it is not coming from ESN commander under this Twitter handle. Biafrans should be careful of those using the name of ESN to defraud our people and carrying out criminal activities. Caterpillar is not recognized by ESN command, and ESN has no dealing with him and is not an ESN operative. Please, let us understand this. Please. You know, these are the things we are saying. So please, as you hear, there is nobody. Caterpillar is not part of ESN. Please, you know, let me tell you, people. I mean, a movement of this magnitude, there must be things like this coming in. There must be people of divergent interests, of selfish interests. It's just what I preached. Because many of our people are never civilized at all. What civilization is marked with? Organization. It is not about being good or, you know, being less brutal. No. But it is about collectivity. Are you hearing me? The Europeans, you see, they are polite. Individually, they are polite. But they are highly brutal in whatever they are doing. Their government is the most brutal. It's more than brutal in achieving their aim. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So, we must make sure, in order to continue in what we are doing, support ESN. Support ESN. I say it once again. Support ESN. IPOB is leading in our agitation, in our quest for liberation. What they are doing is trying to confuse people so that people will become just like Mazi Nnamdi now what is happening now? That is what they want you to be disillusioned. Are you hearing what I'm saying? To be disillusioned. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So that when you see even the real ESN, you will not excuse me. Yeah, as I was saying, the activities of Nigeria is to use different sets of people to disillusion you so that you don't know. You become confused because our people are always very easily confused. Before you know, say, anything that will happen, let it happen. That's what they want you to, with the way they want you to behave, so that you continue being slaves. You hear what I'm saying? So let us be careful. I will go into a few minutes break because this is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break so that when I come back, I will open the lines so that people will start calling. Please, do not go away. I will be right back. Don't go away. I will be right back, please. Do not go away.
Business, yeah. Few months ago, our brother, Cubana chief priest, Gaba Lagos, Jemepe fast food, you know, na insecurity at Chugi also, na allo with insecurity at Chugi also Nemo. So, yeah, Gaba Lagos, no, you relocate here business, yeah. You know, we have been saying this and we keep saying it. No place like home. Yes, no place like home. There is insecurity in Imo State. We should all put hands together. Kulaya. Yes, I believe it. I want him also won't go every. Obodo pagado homma. Ega hapu ziri andi awusa. Ega hapu andi ugu keka. Kendi ga hapu obodo mpaga. Ndoshi akari ano obodo unu. Ndoshi akari. Ega hapu ndoshi obodo unu ka ha kon kaya. No, you put your heads together. You bring ideas. You bring security, you know, methodologies. Okay, we can now, yesterday, no 2 days ago, Kochichi State, Lagos, Kushie, Ebe Kubana chief priest na the business na Lagos. Kashie 1, as you know, environmental pollution. 2, noise pollution. Mana, no wherever or no. I think no place like home. There is no way government Imo State Gibiana cashier can do go wherever the angels. See that the angels are cool. Now how they main bottle, no noise pollution. What you go environmental pollution, what you go this pollution, what you go that pollution. Because home is home. Home is home. Outside is outside. Come home and invest in your town. It's alright. But at the end of the day, everything will have consequences here. But I will still advise it. Yes, so can when I come over here. How can you make a branching car? No, over here, Monabia, Monaboni, Monabakaliki, you know, and Monoka. Because I'm not any part of Alibo come and that McDonald over here. Because he donut. Go me play that one. Oh, well, as far as all one people they must always consider him. Manoje me pay and boss. It's only one man deni na bundi yoba. When fast food, when businesses. Odinka Kubana chief priest one night working well. Na hani na they make noise. No, now na hani name one environmental offense, but one noise offense they hana commit. They commit, but they be alanya. Ahunawu Olushola, but Ahunawu Ariwala Olushegun, but Ahunawu Ahmed Bola. Asemba, onye kani hafia. Onye kani hafia. Oh yes, that is Nigeria for you. So Osaka, Baga Abuja, Gawa Lagos Jeki, Ibepe business ago. Mbosa ye chetegu. Osaka ye janata. EIG 5 anata. So Sunday can achieve a business in Lagos. Not achieve a business in Abuja. Ebe nwata na ebe akwa atụ aka nne ya nọ ya nna ya nọrọ ya maka na akụ kata aka n'obi egosi ndị mmụọ ebe ndụ mmadụ onye nwere ntị ya nọrọ. Come home and invest. Ala mpaga ada achụba ọsọ. Ihe ọbụla mebiga n'obodo mpaga tiga aka ka emechie ihe. Ị na-agba ọsọ agbagara one. Otu anyị na ihe a na-akwechiri ihe a na-aba mba na aka insecurity la. Anyị bacha mgbe ebe niile bịa jụọ oyi na-aga ebe alọta. Come back home, my friend.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name is Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from the province of Biafra Land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 17th day of September 2020. 24. Therefore, our lines are now opened, and our direct line as usual is +1 213 328 6224. +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. You can call us, but I have online Mazi Foreign with one of our reporters to give us some news they have. Some information, I should say, they have. Please. Mazi, can you hear me?
Yeah, my brother, good evening from Poland here. Of course, I remain okay for the okay, and more for Maka Kanonolo, Imo province of Biafran land. Our leader still remains one and only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu members of Chu Pezanya. We not in this, and we quality have to appreciate our beloved Lolo, our eagle, Achalugwai, which is Chukwala and Keys, and we thank her for her broadcast. She is very, very agile, continue to educate us. At the head of director, remains my chicken, and all is looking at you wonderfully well, men and women of our radical son of our Lord. I will continue to appreciate all of you. Yeah, Mazi, I have to say one or two things before I hand over to our beloved brother and reporter from the heartbeat of Imo State, Owerri. Firstly, it's still called a big Cubana prince. That guy, he was instrumental to insecurity in Imo State because he did money laundering for Hope Uzodinma. And he left Imo State because he felt the python they are grown has overcome them. He ran away. He ran away, but only of land is in Suzo. At the end of the day, only Laganato warrior because he might upon a begging young Sidia. He got better, but we all get one. Now, coming to what is happening in my own town or Maka, I cannot do. It's quite unfortunate. I'm hearing the whole news. And a few months ago, the vigilantes in my own village, Oba, the first village in Omaka, were killed. 4 5 people were killed. They are not yet be buried. And they forgot the anger in Omaka, and they went to police station Omaka to got it burnt. You see, because this police station, about more than 3 or 4 times. And all do Omaka and the government, neither the state. And the Chuko Kabi American yesterday, because I tell Biafran, all of them, they tinyaka, they yoga, they lega, they maybe so would I. The same way can actually say, but it's quite unfortunate that now Obabo, Omaka, our beloved and lovely brother, Charles Igwebike, 1 year beyond a businessman, a young, promising young man. After the junction, the key will there, how Boboya Brumotia. The same thing that happened in Omalo Mark a few months ago. A guy with a Venza, how the guy, Bruce. You can see what is happening. And for those of them, according to the information, South Africa or wherever, now they are them by. Now they may say Alomaka, knowing fully when that the so-called Hope was on my head to Omaka. Hope was on my head, trying everything to penetrate Omaka. Which I have told some of our brothers 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Hope was near talking and Omaka. That is why they are fighting to make sure they destroy Omaka. All these bad boys there, both in Asia, everywhere, all those areas, neighboring Omaka. Those areas now, both Omelo, both Ibla, both Amako, both Obabo, Ebi, just Omaka in general. And you see our own beloved brothers, Omaka lights. That when I join her, they woman, they kidnap woman, and they defile, and they discredit our land. They never before. ihe anyị na-agwa ha ọ bụ na okwu ọbụla na-aga wanwan anya na-aga wanwan na afọ ya anyị nwa aka na-ada ogwu anyị na-afụcha na-ebete anyị na-edemere ha ịghọla ụbọchị nta anyị ga-achị na owere nchi Mazi, let me go set our beloved brother and current reformer were ka ọ gwa anyị ihe na-eme n'Imo steeti exactly because enwere ebe ebi because ihe niile anyị na-ekwu n'ọma jigwa ogotu na anyị na-ekwu ka ala dị mma but ndị a na-akara ha na-anụkwana Mazi ndị anyị na-ekwukwa na ha na-anụ the kind of corruption nọ n'Imo steeti echedịma nwere ebe ọ nọ a na-eme ka achịkọta Imo steeti ndị mmebi na-emebi
Mazi, how can it be possible when an evil person is imposed in our land? That is the problem.
Mazi, my brother, the whole 3 senatorial zone in Imo State, ihe abụọ ọlụ, ihe abụọ ọkaigwe and Owerri. Learn what is happening there. Lekwana ebuka anaghị na-asịkwana butena ihe ọ na-butena n'ala Igbo. Ndị otu ọgbọ a na-akpọ Fulani nọkwa n'obu owu. Ndị otu ọgbọ bụ Fulani ha nọ na strategic places na-ekidnap ụmụnne ha na-ekerepụ our sisters ịghọla gịfụ na ihe ndị a na-eme kaziwa ndị nwaanyị na-achị na-eme oke nọ n'ogwe oke nọ na amara ngwa ogede n'anya ọkụ onye ọbụla fronte hope ụzọ dị mmazi metọsị ebe anyị wepụga emeka ihe dị ọhụrụ onye Mbaise bụ onye iche ọkpọ ile ọgbọ isi ala ndị ọbụla nọ n'Owere na-ananị na-ekwu n'Imo Steeti mana ebe ahụ ada agazi aga biko nwanne m nwoke bata ka biko wuru Igbo gwara ya ndị be anyị bikọs ihe na-asịkwa na ndị be anyị ndị Igbo ka a na-agwa ma onye ọla na-ebe ọ na ọwụ onye Igbo Steeti na-anị ya so onye ọbụla amụ ihe ọ ga-eme ka Imo dị mma ka taa na-eri mma ka obodo eri mma ya bịakwa mee ya enye ihe na mma akwasara bụtakwa na oge na chekwa n'obodo ọ na ọ setkwalụ ọ bụrụkwa na ịkwụmrụ ụlọ nke ịkwụ maka were ndị Fulani na Hausa demedia onye ọbụla jikwa ọgbanihu abụọ n'ọnwa enye ihe na mma akwasa nwanne biko ji Igbo kọwala ndị be anyị ọla maka anyị kwata ndị ọcha nwa na-ekwere da anụ ọ nwere ga-ehepụ anyị ọnwa ga-ehepụ onwe anyị Mazi ndewe from Biafra Igbo ndewe Igbo sọla ndị be anyị n'abalị a maka oyibo na anyị sifreli ofe Igbo sọla ya ka aghọta onye ukwu ma onye nta gbawa ngwụrọ ma onye isi na ya n'abalị a
ịgwakwu n'eziokwu Mazi udo dịrị gị Mazi Jonathan ndewo ị na-agbalịla ndewo Mazi ị na-agbalịla Chukwuka bịa ma gọgọzin biko achọrọ m ikele ọhanaweze ndị IPOB niile ebe niile ụwa niile gbasara asị m ka udo nke Chukwuka bịa ma na-enye ka ọ nọnyere unu niile nọnyere ndụ anyị nọnyere ndị niile na-arụ ọrụ maka ndị ezigbo ndị niile na-arụ ọrụ maka nwere onwe ala Biafra so ọ ga-adịrị anyị niile na mma anyị niile ga-adị ndụ mụ Biafra ise Mazi enwere ihe m chọrọ iwebata n'abalị a nke mbụ ụzọ si Owere gawa Mbaise igwe unu kewa eziokwu onye si na ya nafọrọ agụghị ọkpụrụ ọnụ ọ na-atụole ndị Mbaise ụkwanị gọvanọ nke ndị Imo steeti wetara ọwụ na enwere onye anyị na-asọpọtụ rada anyị anyị kwuwe kewa eziokwu na ya bụ eghere ụzọ ahụ gara Mbaise gawara Ụmụahịa gawara Obowo gwukechia ụzọ ahụ na-agazi aga ọ hụtara ya na ọwụ ụzọ ọ ga-esi megide ndị nọ ebe ahụ obi ewu na ọwụ ndị n'ebe ahụ na-etinye aka n'ịkwatu ọchịchị ya anyị na-agwakwa n'ụwa niile ọhanaweze sị onye mekpara ihe o mekpara ya eji isi ya buru ụzọ ahụ ụzọ dede Samuel ọnụ n'aka Mbakwe rụcha ụzọ ahụ onwe mmebi o mebiri onwe ihe mere ya beta abịala na-agwụkeshia ya enwezikwa ụzọ esi esizi Owere jewe Mbaise ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ ịga Mbaise na ị ga-agbazi ụzọ airport gawazie Mbaise ụdị onye ụzọ ị nwere ike iji baa Mbaise a sị na ọwụọ ya enwezi ụzọ gara Mbaise again ka aha nke mbụ nke abụọ wụ anọda bụ fon ke nọ na Niger Delta ahịa ahụ asarị dịka ụgbọ ọ sị na ebe ọ na ndị Imo steeti gburu ụmụ nke ya n'obi nze na ọ ga ya na the Supreme Court gọvanọ anyị nwere ebe a ha eme na agri akwụọ ya 500 million dịka onye zibata ozi anyị si zibata enyela ya the money ka o ji kpọkọta ndị ọ ga-akpọdanwu n'Imo steeti again gaba itikwa aka ime ka Imo steeti wụrụzie obodo ogbu mmadụ. Imo steeti awụrụzie obodo a na-ere anụ ahụ mmadụ. Imo steeti awụzi obodo a na-akwafu ọbara n'ike. So akwụọla ada ụgwọ and ọ na-ejikwa n'ahịa onyonyo gosiri na ọ na-abịa aduo wito ụmụ nge ya ndị oshila ndị ama ọ kpọkọtara. Anọda ebe ọzọ a sị na akwụrụ ụgwọ aha a ga-esi akpọbatahụ ndị ọzọ wụ na Edo steeti Edo ka akwụrụ anọda ụgwọ a ga-esi akpọtahụ ndị ọzọ, ndị ogbu mmadụ, ndị ọta mmadụ, ndị lakpọrọ mmadụ, ndị na-eme ụzọ na ihe niile dị iche iche a ga-akpọbata ha n'obodo anyị wụ Imo steeti ka a bịakwa na-egbu isikwe na-akpọrọ na-emekwa otu ndị kembụ si na-eme. Ebe ọzọ a sị na akwụkwara ụgwọ ahụ according to onye na-agbanye anyị, onye nọ n'ime na-enye anyị nzisa ozi si na ọ na Kaduna steeti ka a nọkwa na-akpọkọta ụmụ okorobịa again. A ga-akpọda ha Imo steeti afta akwadochara ha ọfụma, a ga-akpọda ha hia ịbịakwa na-abịa ebuso agha na Imo steeti hia. Dịka onye agha si ekwuwe, ọ sịra na ebe ọ na ọ ga-adọ vice president na 2027 na ọ ga-enyeziri ya aka those people ndị agha ga-awụzi ndị ọ ga-eji na-arụ ọrụ na-egbusisikwa ndị onye ọbụla nọchiri ụzọ na-akwado ya na onye ọbụla nọchiri ụzọ na-akwado ya. So ihe a na-awụ ihe na-eme n'Imo steeti now and oge na-adịghị anya ndị a niile ga-abata n'Imo steeti join nnọkọzie wit ndị ka na-anọ that is amazikwa otu Imo steeti ga-adị adị. So anyị na-agwakwa onye ọbụla kwe nkwụcha cherekwe na ọ ga-eme. Nke atọ awụrụ n'ụzọ si Owerri na-aga Aba, ọ na-erute Airport Junction gawa gaolenwu asif na-erute Ihite Junction na-eje Ọkpala. Enwere ndị Fulani ndị Arab contractors na-egwu aja n'ụzọ sitere Airport Junction Ihite. Enwere ebe a na-egwu aja ebe ahụ. A sị na ndị Arab contractors a nyere ndị Fulani ahụ ebe ahụ ka a na-echerere ha ebe ahụ ha na-egwu aja, na-echerere ha katapila na ihe ndị ọzọ ha eji egwu aja. Then now ndị agha elezela anya duto na keme abala ole keme ọnwa olele adịmakwa aja egwu ebe ahụ. Ụzọ a chọrọ ịrụ, ụzọ Aba to Owerri a chọrọ ịrụ adịzikwa ka arụgha. Ndị a werezie egbe e nyere ha na-ejizi ya na-ekidnapụ ndị mmadụ, na-ejizi ya na-akpọrọ ndị mmadụ, na-ejizi ya na-erepụzi ndị gara ọrụ, ndị gara ahịa. Ha gazie ha kpọrọ mmadụ ole ha nara ego na jiri ụmụ nwaanyị gara ọrụ erepụ ha. So dịka ndị mwebata ozi si webata abịa ga n'ime ọhịa ebe ahụ ebe ndị agha ebe ha ebi adịka enwere otu esi nakpa ozi na lekwelekwe ihe a chọrọ ime, then ha agbafochie. Then ite ha eji eshighe nri, uwe ha eji adịla ihe niile ndị ọzọ ha na-eyuzu nọcha ebe ahụ ahụchara ya. Ha na-ekwudata na ha ga-ejichi ike gazi ime ọhịa niile nọ site Airport Junction gawa Ihite medike na aja Ọkpala na ọhịa niile n'ebe ahụ na ha ga-agazi gaga enyocha ya na-enyochazi ọfụma. Enwe ndị ahụ fụtara maka ime ihe dị otu a. Ndewo maazị, ya wụ otu o si dịrị n'Imo steeti na
ọkwa Imo steeti ga-akpọrịcha ihe niile a anya na-agbara ji ntị egere ndị be anyị ndị ọla ọsọrọ aka na ndị ma ha tie n'isi aka ibadị ma dị ndị ọsọ ha chekwa obodo ha chekwa taa na chekwa vileji ọsọ etọọla. Maazị Jonathan ndewe, adị m hapi na ịkwụ onye ụzọ ebe a so kwe tinye ọnụ. Ndewe
ndewo. Ọ bụ ihe mwute that ndị ba ndewo ọ bụ ihe mwute that na be anyị ndị be anyị wụ oke n'ụlọ ihe ha na-eke ike n'ụlọ sometimes the thing now watch hamgare. Brikaga, Burundia, Gawandiane, Busha, Indi, Shibia. Agade Mamuya. Caller on WhatsApp. Please go on. Can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? I don't know whether you can hear me. Yeah. Yeah, go on, please. Go on. Why?
Mgbe ụfọdụ enwere ihe na-emegbu kwama mgbe a na-agba mgba nna m na-akpọrọ m akụkọ na-eche agba mgba ị gaghị ekwe ka onye ga-aba mgba mata aka mgba gị maka ya mata aka mgba gị ihe eche gị ebe ahụ ị gaghị enwewu ihe na ị gaghị enwe ike isi ebe ahụ enweta ọ ga-adị mma ege kọsara ihe ndị a n'ikuku arị usoro ọnụ ji ga-eji ebu agha merie ka aghịrị ikwukwenye n'ikuku ka gbara onye ahụ ama isi ihe ị ga-ege ime ama m ihe ọzọ ga-esi n'ime ya pụta onye m saka m rụtụ m aka. Now, my dear brother, I heard when you referred to the Opium War. I have had a lot of arguments with a lot of ex-British officials. From time to time, I tend to come in contact with some of them here in California. And eventually, some of them, they will come to the point where they would agree that the British government has committed lots of atrocities in this world. They pretty much all they have done all along is just stealing, plundering, raping, committing all kinds of atrocities. It's a means of acquiring wealth. And they did this all over, especially Africa and around the world. So the Opium War, as you referred to, I remember when Mini came up, I wrote something on Twitter now known as X. And I asked, why now? It is another weapon on the block. That's how I saw it then. That was about 2 years ago. And I asked that our people pay attention to this, and I analogized it to what you referred to, which is the Opium War. So in this very thing, in our own case, from what I've read, there are factories now in our own communities where this is being manufactured. So the approach to eliminate it has to be different. In the case of Chinese, what they did was they made the trip from England to China a white goods chase, a lost cause. So opium wasn't yielding anything anymore. So that was how China defeated England in that aspect. So when they realized they weren't making any money anymore, it was nothing but a loss to them. They quit. And one thing from time to time when I remember that, I say to myself, someday we will say this. When Hong Kong came, when England handed Hong Kong back to China, and the leader said that finally 150 years of shame had come to an end. That's people who doesn't forget the past. And that's the only way you can be have a formidable present and the future. You don't forget your past. There are things that give me a lot to chew on. That statement gave me a lot. finally 150 years of shame had come to an end. Would anybody have any doubt that there is no way in the world today that the British government can challenge the Chinese government? They can't change. It's impossible. But back then, British government, Britain was the Great Britain, almost on the whole world. The sun almost never set on the British Empire, stealing, plundering, doing all kinds of evil, which they continue to do today. That 1884, 1885 sharing of Africa, carving Africa into sphere of influence of them, they want it to stay that way, and they will stay that way unless you fight back and say enough is enough, because that's what is enriching them. Biafra is enriching them. So anybody expecting that they will suddenly let Biafra go, that person is a joker.
Of course.
That person doesn't know history.
You are completely right. We force them in every way. That's it. Go on, Mazi.
That is how it has always been done. They were forced out of the United States of America of today. It was even during that time that suddenly they realized that there are people in bondage in the USA, and they said, if you slaves fight for us so that we win, then we will give you freedom. We give you British citizenship. You do this for us, we give you that. But they didn't realize. Where do we begin and where do we end it? Our people need to strongly pay attention to what has happened in the world, to realize that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has established and what IPOB is doing is the way to our heaven. It is Biafra, because heaven is on this earth, not any other place. When we establish that home where our individual talent, the special talent that we will have the freedom to be able to bring it to its greatness that will make Africa great, that will make Biafra great as well as Africa, then we'll be in heaven. No other people will do it for us. Our democracy will be our own democracy, not democracy from any other place in the world. It will come from our own understanding of how we want to live, and we package it. Whether we call it democracy or whatever name we want to give it, it will be ours, homegrown. Why would politics be local and then democracy will be something that will come from international? Does it make sense? To me, it doesn't make sense. So, in the case of Mini, good that the places where it's been manufactured has been discovered. We need to come up with a way. Chinese did the Opium War by making it, like I said before, turning the British journey across the sea a waste of time. So in this case, in our own case, because it's a war, they want to defeat us by any means necessary. I'm not going to, I know things that are on my mind. Our own way to defeat it is there. And I believe we have capable minds, we have capable brains, we have capable body, and we will defeat it. Then, fight to be free. It cannot be given to us. If it's given to us, it will not be freedom. It will be another form of bondage. So I will stop there and say thank you very much. May continue to guide all of us until we get to our destination, which is Biafra. Thank you.
There were Mazi.
Yeah.
There were Udodrege. You've said it all. There is no way the subjugator will leave. There is no way the colonizer will leave until he is forced to do so. That is the thing. Let me caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Please go on. There we go.
Thank you so much, sir. So, when I talked about the presentation of your today's here, I actually want to start by asking you a question. I know I'm calling a direct line, but if you see me, so I'll reload and call you back again because some things are meant to be cleared of air. So the question I want to ask, when you said we need support, we should support, when you're making reference about those fully fought levels who are establishing the McDonald and whatever they want to call it. So I just want to ask, who are we looking for to support us? Are we looking for, I think we talked about the outside civilized nation that we know they can support in their own little ways, whichever way. But down here, who are we looking up to support us? That was my question before I start my contribution to my suggestion.
Yes. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me? Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi, I don't. Yes, I know. Are you hearing me? Okay. Support we need from Biafrans. That is it. From Biafrans of all walks of life. Both businessmen, both in our people. You must not be an IPOB member in order to support what we are doing. This is it. It's very simple. Because some people might be thinking that, look, ESN, I support for ESN, $2 na PayPal. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even made a plea to the extent going so low that if everybody will be paying $1 per month, it's still nothing. But what I'm saying is this: there are our people that, because what we are fighting for is for everybody. Somebody can make contact and say, look, I want to support this struggle, but I have my businesses, of which you should know now. Please, I don't want my name to be mentioned. That is how things are done. It happened in different ways. When Taliban we are waging their own war, they were raising funds. They were not even coming on air or coming public. People were supporting them. They are the admirers. I think a report was from Middle East or from we are in Saudi Arabia. They were raising only that place $100 and something million every month or every year. So why should our own be different? During the Zionism struggle for liberation of establishment of Israel today, you see, people gave generously, even secretly. Somebody gave in 1940s gave a sum of $1 million that time. Maybe $1 million that time, the equivalent will be maybe up to $100 million now dollars. But our people, that is what I talked about as civilization. Our people don't understand the importance of fighting a collective battle. That is why to the same people that killed us. Because we thought that we will survive, we can survive individually. Look at today, after more than 50 years, we are still back to status quo. Why can't we do this thing once and for all? That is my point. Mazi, please go on. Sorry for keeping you. Go on.
That's right. One is you talked about civilization as the center point of your presentation today. Now, can it be possible to do away with religion in associate with the fulfillment of this civilization that we're looking or anticipating to emancipate ourselves from this complacency of not, restoring Biafra, which we have been fighting for about a decade now? Can religion be set aside on this? And why I'm saying this is that if religion cannot be set aside, I want to bring it to our notice that the primary challenge we are having from those people who we think from the local, side of the nation to support is because they have been influenced in one way or the other by religion. Now, let me tell you something. Those who believe in religion, listen to me. You remember that Christ said to those of them in Christendom, because I know the other ones have their own scripture quoted there that is asking them to do whatever they want to do in their own freedom. Now, in this area now, Christ said something. He said, you don't need the crowd, but you need just that 12 disciples. Now, if I should ask a question again, how many director of states, how many people might have the seat of director of states? I think there are more than 12. If there are more than 12, if you calculate the media warriors, calculate the IPOBs, we are more than millions. Now, do we really need the help of this idiot? I'm sorry, forgive me. You people should forgive me for cursing you, but I was willed to do that, but I'm sorry about that. Tonight I'm not cursing any person. Now, do we really need crowd to move this quest? Because I've overheard you people, sensibly saying that a state without power, either biological power or whatever power, cannot get this thing right. We need power to sustain this pressure to get ourselves out of this. So if I'm not going to disclose, we know what we are doing and you guys are doing it perfectly okay. I don't need God to come and tell me that director of states and people like you, the ministers on the platform, are doing right. And the media, no, you people are doing right. But what I'm saying is that most of us in our platform, this went out on our platform, one of our platforms, I saw one of us quarreling each other, insulting each other, I was just laughing. I said, does it mean that what Paul said in the scripture is true? Some people suck milk and some chew bones. Because if you understand what the director of states are doing on behalf of IPOP and the Biafran, you will understand that it is not like they can't have power to say, okay, let's go and battle this mess out. But we need to know that even after who you think he has gone that Nigerians are supporting, it's nobody to stop the rivalry that is going against the people of Biafra in getting the economy judiciously shared among ourselves to get ourselves out of this economic shrink. But it is all about us moving in this direction to understand we are a people that have been marked out to be a stooge against the European exploitation against Africa. So it is also good we realize that we are meant to calm down and bring up all the motives we have about following these people up. Because if I should ask, there are people, if I tell you, can we share the idea of what sit at home down here in the localities? And also, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, initiating with the help of the director of state to get a body called ESN, not IPOP, ESN, and they are flourishing, working perfectly. The whole world knows them that they are not terrorists and they are doing perfectly okay. I think it's in the same.
My brother, I know your airtime is finished. But let me say this, the restoration, Biafran restoration, what we are doing is a process. It's easier spoken things, word is very cheap, but to transform it into action is where it is hard. As I say, imagine controlling millions of people. It's not easy. Just imagine your family. If you have family, just imagine your own family. Controlling your own family. Imagine how hard it is. Your children. you know, that is human being. So what we are doing is a process. A Biafra restoration is a process. And we must go according to the mentality of our people. Well, that's why this media is very, very important. Because we need to convince our people beyond reasonable doubt that what we are doing is the best that will save us as a people. That is the way we are going. That is it. And that is why we, the Nigerian government, they understand the mentality of our people, and that is why they are unleashing criminality in our land. Why? In order to confuse our people so that they will loot, they will hate what we are doing and say, nah, our people, we are very, very easy to confuse. Very, very easy. I want a mentality of children. I used to say it. Very easy. But since we are putting common sense in us through this platform and the other media warriors, I think many of our people are understanding. We need to be thinking in a sophisticated manner. Let us understand when the enemy comes. Let us understand how to digest information, how to ask mental questions. That is it. And we must continue. Caller on signal, please. Can you hear me? Please go on. You have been here since 11 minutes. Caller on signal. Mazi Madabuchuku, can you hear me? Use any container you like, as long as it's not plastic. Next, we'll add some clothes from India. They play a crucial role in our caller on signal. Mazi Madabuchi, can you hear me, please?
Yes, my brother, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, go on, please, go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for picking my call. Good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. My name is Ifan Chukwumada Abuchi, and I'm reaching you from the Netherlands. You see, my brother, what you treated about civilization, it's a beggar's belief that in this 21st century, in 2024, 2024, where we are talking about science and technology advancement, even agricultural revolution or revolution everywhere, and we're encouraging it in Biafra land. So it begs the question, what type of civilization are people bringing to our land to, when they are destroying our youth, destroying our society and our future? How do you grow the next generation of bricklayers, the next generation of electricians, the next generation of mechanics, vulcanizers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, teachers, nurses, etc.? If you are poisoning or making our youths as young as ever being drug addicts, how do we grow the next generation? What is this with our people and money and of what church anyhow go na Biafra land, not go and bring poison. If you don't know, hard drug is poison and it has been used against targeted population all over the world, and our own people who we are fighting to liberate are bringing the poison to our homeland. Shame, shame, eternal shame. God forbid bad things. What is all this? Anyway, my brother, please, in the issue of when we are talking about civilization, the people who ruled Nigeria since 1970, let's start from there, because if you go over in the Civil War, they will talk about, you are talking about the bitterness of the genocide. But let's say people who ruled Nigeria since 1970 from the oil boom, they must have gotten some knowledge, even if they were generals and genocidists, they must have gotten some knowledge and civilization according to the time. They must have grown old and wiser.
Why am I saying this? It is in the news that General Olusegun Obasanjo, Ibrahim Babangida, Abu Slami Abubakar, General Guzo, etc. are having a meeting in Mina, Niger State or so. These are elderly Nigerian statesmen, in quotes, because I'm saying particularly Nigerian because all the names I've just read, there's no Biafran among them. This is who are so old and wise, should be old and wise enough to know that Nigeria, which they fought and killed for, has failed, never worked, is not working, and will never work. Now the question is, what will they do in their meeting and after their meeting? Continuing to reinforce the failure that is Nigeria, or face the fact that Nigeria has failed and support the division of Nigeria into at least 4 emerging countries, namely, according to my own opinion, the Republic of Biafra, Hausa Nation, Middle Belt Republic, and Yoruba Nation. Now, they could still influence, because if they do it now, they could still influence events. On the other hand, will they continue to support the failure Nigeria for their own selfish interest and vainglory? Tomorrow and the future will tell. And I come to the matter that is in our hearts, after our first lady, our Lolo Uchechi Okukano, after visiting our leader, what he said that the health of our leader is degenerating and he is not being allowed to see a physician. Nigerian government must now release our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to attend to his deteriorating health. We shall not accept the story of natural causes, for it would be a case of premeditated murder, because you would have knowingly and willingly denied him medical care. And we won't agree. We not go agree. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what can I say? Make hay while the sun shines. Don't let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu die in your detention. Release him. Just give us referendum for Biafra. You cannot build a country with force of arms. It has never worked in human history. And they say this to Biafrans. Support the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, the movement. Support our cabinet, that is our Directorate of State, who are running the affairs of the indigenous people of Biafra. Support the restoration of Biafra so that we will build a nation we will love and work for. God bless Biafra. Thank you, my brother.
There were Mazi. We must continue. Let me see. Caller on also, please hold on. Let me try to pick this call on direct line. Caller on direct line. Can you hear me, please? Caller on direct line. Are you there? Please make it as brief as you can, please.
This is fine. Everything at time. If there's not what over, what other are you doing? People don't understand that that cannot be kind of country. Get him free after him. You want to that is what the cannot can do for them. So that everybody will be from there. I think people don't know. I think people, I think people to release our that occasion can very too pray for me to be free. And then all I'm fighting here. Let us hear from the royal Chicago, other than Chicago. Then I can, you can see I know more. Obra no more, how many times is that in the time? But at times, you don't tell us understanding or conception telling you. At the time, that's the kind of there. That will affect somebody for us to be that back. But I said, as the young people who don't want to support PSL, shut all of you. PSL will be Don't do that in a lion. No, it's forever. I should be working for a man in a town. We saw. I got put another 5% jug. I'm not talking to that is the trick and the member. I have coming from all I like 24, 22, 23. Terrible. I don't put up on some of there. So that doesn't come on the top of our general. Okay, that cannot go for
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Mazi Obasi, can you hear me? Please go on. You'll be the last caller.
Loud and clear, Mazi Jonathan. My greetings from here. My greetings to all Biafrans all over the world. My name is S.E. Obasi. I have really been touched with your program today. And sometimes, let me tell you the truth, sometimes it's difficult to call in your program. You don't make it easy for some of us to call, because at the point you want to call, it's like you've said everything that is there to be said. So we don't even know what to actually add. And I mean, when you call. So thank you very much for doing such a great job. There is this, I want to share an aspect of a particular movie that I believe will tie down to some of the topic that you just said. Just a very short part. There is this movie, the NBC movie it's a series actually, that they call The Blacklist, that was starred by James Spader, created by one of the greatest NBC writers, John Kingham, sorry. In one of the episodes, Raymond, which is the name of the star, Raymond Reddington, was actually in prison, and one of his chief transporters, one of the people that controls the transportation of his consignment. Raymond Reddington in this movie is a serious criminal, wanted list, number one on the wanted list of every country. But this man, upon returning from the short prison that he went to, realized that one of his transport guys had made so much money compared to what they usually make from that route. He knew something was wrong. Called in the guy, and then they found out that this guy has used his channel that he actually used for criminal business, for criminality. Yet, because this man was found to have used that opportunity when his boss was not around to pass in meth, this particular drug that we call Upurumili, this meth, that is the only reason. And he told him that you cannot use my route, my truck, my warehouse to transport this. I am not in the business of meth because it's a poison. This American writer find this part so important in one of the most criminally minded movies in order to sensitize their people, in order to send a message against such drugs. That you can do everything, you can sell guns, you can do gun running, you can sell information. They know somewhere, somehow, their country benefits from those illicit activities. But they found somewhere to insert it that the sales of meth should not be done even by the most criminal of all American criminals. Our movie makers, who have a lot of part in shaping the mentality of our people, especially the youth, are busy accepting funds and money from places they shouldn't, and are promoting Biafrans as the people who only make a lot of money by doing rituals. They rather focus on promoting our tradition as the money. They participate in promoting the fact that when we go home for Christmas, that people poison us, that there are witches who don't want us to do well in our own village. That is what our brothers who are proud of taking over the Nigerian movie industry. Only proud by mouth. Funke Akindeme's movie series that just aired for just short time made more money than all of them together. But yet, they said they have modernized the Nigerian movie industry. But what positive change have you used that as a civilized person to implement in our land? What campaign, apart from that somebody is doing money ritual, somebody has killed his nephew for returning to the village for building good house or for coming back with car, or that at the end of every movie of such wicked elders, Jesus Christ somewhere somehow always wins. That is what we are focusing on. If the movie industry that is occupied by our people will focus on just this mess in a way that truly shows that it is bad, we will not even need to fight one person and it will go. That is how we should become conscious of our land and do things for ourselves. IPOB is doing a lot, but everybody can do something. If you are making, focus it there. If you are doing any of your skit, not only the gogo that will make people laugh, do things that are going to change life in our communities. We are all in this. Believe in IPOB or in Biafra or not, the people that are wasting their lives are your kin and kind. We should care. And those of us who are Biafrans should not look away in trying to call out these evil people. And lastly, Mazi Jonathan, the issue of civilization that you spoke about. When you were speaking and I was listening, what came to my mind is, from your analogy, you can really tell that those people who come from, figuratively, Abeokuta, to live in that part of Germany and turn it to what they used to have in Abeokuta, is really actually not their fault. And it's not as if they are living below expectation. No, that is actually their level. As sad as that may be, that is who they are. And sometimes I feel as if an average Caucasian will look at us, all African, because of the action of some of these people who have refused to let other people go, so that at least the image of the black race can be lifted. That some of these Caucasians will be looking at us collectively with the kind of resources we have and the kind of suffering we are going through. They look at us collectively as truly, we are incapable of developing ourselves. That truly, that suffering somehow is actually what we were created for. And they can genuinely feel that. And when somebody feels genuinely like that, you cannot stop the person from coming to your backyard and taking that resources that should have made your life better and better his own place. Because guess what? Even if he needs this for you for the next 100 years, he believes genuinely that you won't do anything meaningful with it. You shouldn't have even been, in fairness to nature, that such people should come and even tell you to take that resources that belongs to you, because they make it for you. You can use it for anything. Our people, I believe that we as a people should know that in this issue of being peace, being peaceful in itself is not a virtue. It is a virtue for those who are weak. When you are peaceful because you can deal with this person and yet you choose peace, that is when you are truly peaceful. But our people see being weak as being peaceful. Most of us are just being weak. Instead of we to fight for what is ours, we say, what can we do? Let's take it and can manage one can. That is being weak. That is not being peaceful. A peaceful man is that man who has every means and resources to bring chaos to you, and yet, for the sake of certain things, he chooses peace. And nature will never fight for the weak, ever. It is until you grow up and fight Allah Biafra will not fight for you when you are lying down sleeping. Allah Biafra will support you when you fight. No, Mazi Jonathan.
There were Mazi Obase, Udodrege. You taught something which I will pick up one day. You see this Nollywood. You see Nollywood. I will remember them, honestly. Although me, it's a long time. I don't even watch their nonsense. They contributed a lot in demonizing anything concerning us as a people, even to foreigners. Because for the Nollywood, foreigners watch it. They took us like, you see America. The whole world look at America through their movies, number one, before even you travel to America. You take America as people, you see how they promote their culture. In America, they don't have a minister of culture, but their culture is promoted through their movie. Give orangutan a gun, he will use it to start killing his brother, shooting himself even. That is it. Our people have the capability with what do you call it? Nollywood, and they start using it, shooting ourselves, making just to make money, inciting hatred even more on our values. And guess now they are here. We hear our people have command of. They have a weapon to set straight, promoting our values, teaching our people things that matter, things that we should know. No, they set up using Nollywood, their platform, to demonize anything concerning us. You see what Nollywood contributed in our land? In Nollywood, you see, it contributed immensely to the demonization of anything concerning Ndibo. I nenye poison. Omenala also ihe ọjọọ. Onye ya kwared na tezu. Nollywood contributed for me more than 80% of this demonization. I am telling you. It is not foreigners that did it. It is ourselves. I cannot understand for the goodness of me. That is why, you see, when they call people that went to school, went to universities, to have PhD, say they are intellectuals, it baffles me. It baffles me a lot. You can see somebody that has seven PhDs, but they don't have common sense. If our people have common sense, do we need to teach them Nollywood and say, look, use your platform to promote our culture, promote who we are, so that when people see us anywhere, they embrace us. Say, oh, this good. I saw you in Nollywood. The same way they do in Hollywood, the American movies, portray the America as everything good in the eyes of the world. But in our own, no way. Nollywood. We must that the type of civilization. It's part of it, I talk. Because what matters to them is what they can get in their pocket. They don't care about our collectivity. They don't care about what they are portraying. That is not their problem. And the Nigerian government supports them. Are you hearing me? How many Igbo people do you see, right? Igbo musicians. Let me just ask this question. How many Igbo big musicians have you seen singing against government brutality and the ears of let's say Nigerian government in our land. Just if there is anybody you big, not all these small tertiary musicians. I mean big non-Igbo musicians. How many? Does it not tell you the type of people that can betray anything for money? It's only in this IPOB now that our musicians are. Well, I mean normal Igbo musicians. What they are pushed into singing is Ibutike. We show that we can make money. Hey, and now flaunt cars and money. That is where they are pushed. Look at, you see somebody like is it Abdul Karim or Abdul Aziz, the Yoruba singer. You see how he's castigating to the extent even during the time of Obasanjo declared him persona non grata and he ran away from Nigeria. Because he sang, till today he's singing the ears of the society. Which Igbo big musician can do that? You see, the other day I talked about the Freemason puzzle you call the Bible. He said, he who hates his life gets it. He who loses his life will have it. But he who loves his life will lose it. That is what we are suffering from. We love life. We love something very easy. That is why we love shortcut. Average woman like a shortcut to anything. That is why we are lured into miracle. But one day, we have native doctor scammers. But one day, we are lured easily because we always want a shortcut to no due process. Just shortcut. Very easy. So, check our musicians. Listen to what they are singing. Listen. I mean, big musicians say, nothing more, nothing. They don't even sing about. Look at Fela Kuti. Look at Fela Kuti. He was jailed several times, even killed. Look at others, even in Yoruba land. Can you see it in Igbo land? Igbo man, how are you? That's why sometimes I Mazi Nnamdi Kanu no mugu. Na ga trandi Igbo because it's strange to them. Do you see our weak point? And our enemies, they know this. This is our weak point. Now I actually suffering. I suffer. We are weak. We since 1970, they turned us into a weak race that we are not. A people that without a standing army, from 1967 to 1970, Kodema Debo built a Biafran army right from, he inherited no army, as he wrote in his book. He inherited no army. He built it right from scratch and resisted every corner for 3 years. I just turned into a very weakling. I know in your warning. I bamba. I make. And you say, okay, you don't want to come out. Contribute. You have the money to do it. Contribute, even secretly, so that your name will not be mentioned to what we are doing. But you want us to do miracle as people that can like a shortcut. You want IPOB to be doing miracle. Our bushy now have for an investment. Where is your now? Get joy now. How can you contribute to and now on they get money now? Wait. Yes, they are very easy, woman. You look at the mentality. Guess now what can be she chef? Oh, happen there can fall and go on your neighbor. So that we learn the hard way as we are learning. We have people that flaunt riches. We have people that can call secretly and if they donated $300,000, $500,000, it's nothing to them. Or would they do it because they want something? They will put money and say, nah, so that they will be in control of it, or you know, they will get again. Nah, get my benefit. Nah, get my interest. Nah. That is primitive character. When the people cannot invest on their future generation, it's primitivity. It's high primitivity. You see them flaunting. You are driving J-Wagon Mercedes 2024 model, and you ask the person, do you know the Mercedes you are driving that started since time immemorial, 20th century? Do you know that it entered from generation to generation, and we are nurturing it day to day? That is why you were able to now be boasting with Mercedes you cannot produce. Can you engage and nurture a business? When they tell you to invest on it, say, nah, why will I wait for to invest for something I cannot gain? What if in the next 50 years I will die now? Waiting be my gain. What of your future generations? That is part of civilization. When people can build selflessly for their future generations. And that is what IPOB is initiating. Thank you for listening. Biafra remains who we are. Biafra remains our religion. Biafra is our ideology. That is it. If you have any other ideology other than Biafra, know that you've not started. We must continue in order to make sure that Biafra is restored. Thank you for listening. For me, from here, it is simply good.
Difficulty. The rise of militant groups in the Sahel region, often with external backing, creates an environment of instability and fear. These groups, exploiting discontent and socio-economic disparities, pose a significant threat to Traoré's government. His efforts to address extremism's root causes through development and inclusive governance face resistance, as external actors benefit from the chaos and use it as a pretext for intervention. Traoré's safety is a constant concern. His security team must stay vigilant against assassination attempts and coordinated attacks. Intelligence reports have uncovered numerous plots against him, orchestrated by a mix of local and foreign actors. The complexity of these plots underscores the high stakes involved and the determination of his enemies. Despite these challenges, Traoré draws strength from the unwavering support of the Burkinabe people. His grassroots connections and genuine concern for their welfare have built a strong base of support that has so far resisted his adversaries' efforts. The people's belief in his vision acts as both his shield and his sword, allowing him to move forward despite the dangers. Traoré's ability to communicate his vision and rally the masses has been crucial to his resilience. His speeches, filled with messages of hope, resilience, and self-determination, deeply resonate with a population long yearning for change. This connection with the people makes it difficult for his enemies to turn public opinion against him, despite their best efforts. Moreover, Traoré has strategically built alliances with other African leaders who share his vision. These alliances provide mutual support and create a network of solidarity that collectively resists external pressures. By promoting a Pan-African approach, Traoré not only strengthens his position, but also contributes to a broader movement to redefine Africa's place in the world. In the grand story of African liberation, Ibrahim Traoré's tale is still being written. His life, marked by courage and conviction, stands as a symbol of hope for those who dream of a future where Africa is free from external control. Yet, it also serves as a reminder of the great risks faced by those who pursue such a future. But has something like this ever happened before to African leaders? Historically, African leaders who dared to assert true independence and self-determination have faced similar perils. Patrice Lumumba of Congo, Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso, and Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. All were leaders whose lives were violently cut short as they pushed against the currents of neo-colonial control. Their stories serve as stark reminders of the dangers Ibrahim Traoré faces as he walks a path fraught with peril. Patrice Lumumba, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the most notable examples. Lumumba's vision for a united, independent Congo free from the exploitative grip of foreign powers made him a significant threat to the established order. His tenure was marked by efforts to gain full control over the country's rich natural resources, which had long been plundered by colonial and corporate interests. Lumumba's refusal to align with Western powers during the Cold War and his appeal to the Soviet Union for assistance sealed his fate. In 1961, Lumumba was arrested, tortured, and ultimately assassinated with the involvement of both Belgian authorities and the CIA. His death symbolized the extreme measures that would be taken to prevent African nations from slipping out of Western control. Thomas Sankara, often called Africa's Che Guevara, is another tragic figure in the history of African liberation. As the president of Burkina Faso, Sankara implemented sweeping reforms aimed at reducing poverty, fighting corruption, and promoting gender equality. His policies included land redistribution, nationalizing key industries, and rejecting foreign aid, which he saw as a form of neocolonialism. Sankara's vision of self-sufficiency and his bold rhetoric against Western imperialism made him a target. In 1987, he was assassinated in a coup d'etat orchestrated by his close ally Blaise Compaoré, who had the backing of foreign interests opposed to Sankara's radical changes. Sankara's assassination underscored the dangers faced by leaders who challenge international norms and local power structures. Muammar Gaddafi of Libya presents a more complex narrative. Gaddafi came to power in 1969 through a military coup that ousted the Western-aligned monarchy. Over the years, he pursued a vision of Pan-Africanism and sought to reduce Western influence in Africa. Gaddafi used Libya's oil wealth to fund various African liberation movements and proposed ambitious projects aimed at unifying the continent. However, his regime also became increasingly autocratic, leading to significant internal opposition. In 2011, amid the Arab Spring, a NATO-led intervention, purportedly to protect civilians, resulted in Gaddafi's overthrow and brutal killing. The Western powers' involvement in Gaddafi's demise highlighted the geopolitical stakes in Africa and the lengths to which external forces would go to protect their interests. These historical precedents show a clear pattern. African leaders who pursue genuine independence and challenge the global status quo often meet violent ends. Ibrahim Traoré's situation bears eerie similarities to these past leaders. His efforts to nationalize industries, reduce foreign dependency, and foster regional unity echo the policies that led to the demise of Lumumba, Sankara, and Gaddafi. This historical context amplifies the risks Traoré faces and underscores the precarious nature of his position. Now the question is, how far the external forces can go to attack Traoré. The most recent attempt on Ibrahim Traoré's life was a stark reminder of the volatile situation he faced as the leader of Burkina Faso. Gunfire erupted near the presidential residence, sending shockwaves through the capital, Ouagadougou. This brazen attack not only caused immediate alarm, but also ignited public protests, with Traoré's supporters pouring into the streets to show their unwavering support for his government. These incidents highlight the urgent need for robust security measures to protect Traoré and stabilize his administration. The night of the attack was tense. As shots rang out near the presidential residence, it became clear that this was not just a random act of violence, but a targeted attempt on Traoré's life. Security forces quickly responded, engaging the assailants in a firefight that lasted several minutes. The attackers managed to escape, leaving behind a scene of chaos and fear. This attack was the latest in a series of attempts to destabilize Traoré's government and eliminate him as a political threat. The immediate aftermath saw a surge of support for Traoré. Thousands of Burkinabe citizens took to the streets of Ouagadougou, chanting slogans and waving flags in solidarity with their president. The spontaneous gathering was a powerful testament to the deep connection Traoré has with his people. Many of the protesters vowed to defend his vision for a new Burkina Faso, free from the shackles of corruption and foreign exploitation. This public outpouring of support was both a show of unity and a warning to those who seek to harm Traoré that the people stand firmly behind their leader. These public demonstrations underscore the immediate dangers Traoré faces. The assassination attempt was not an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of threats that have dogged his presidency from the start. Each attack serves as a reminder of the precarious nature of his position and the powerful forces arrayed against him. The urgency of the situation calls for enhanced security measures to protect not only Traoré, but also the stability of Burkina Faso as a whole. Traoré's leadership has been characterized by a series of bold reforms aimed at transforming Burkina Faso into a self-sufficient and prosperous nation. However, these reforms have also made him many enemies. By challenging the entrenched interests of foreign corporations and local elites, Traoré has put himself in the crosshairs of those who stand to lose from his policies. The recent attack is a stark reminder that these adversaries are willing to go to great lengths to stop him. The need for robust security measures cannot be overstated. So, what is Ibrahim Traoré doing to make himself protected? In response to these escalating threats, Ibrahim Traoré has adopted a series of security measures, drawing inspiration from Russian methods known for their effectiveness in high-risk environments. His approach is multifaceted, combining increased personal security, advanced surveillance, and enhanced military capabilities to ensure his protection and stabilize his administration. These steps are crucial for maintaining his leadership and safeguarding Burkina Faso's sovereignty.
But turn around and go to Namibia, I was shocked. Namibians pay about $170 to get a visa to go to the United States, but Americans, when they go to Namibia, nothing, zero, not a penny. Just come. Now guys, let's have a serious conversation here. Who is stupid? Whose problem is it? We are the problem. What is leadership doing? Leadership is doing nothing. Leadership is voting on sheer stupidity. Stupidity that is causing us havoc. The same people who are abusing us, taking advantage of us, exploiting us, they are laughing at us because we are jokers. What are we doing in our parliaments? And that is why you see what's happening in Burkina Faso, what's happening in Niger, what's happening in Mali. The youth are saying, now we know. Now our eyes are open. Now we know who the real problem is. Yes, we know the enemy as the former colonizers. We know the enemy as the multinationals who are in our countries, siphoning as much as they can. Yes, we know the NGOs are nothing but wolf in sheep's clothing. Yes, we know some of the embassies are no good. They are there to make sure that the instability in our countries continue. We know all that. However, we also know that our leaders could stop it. So yes, it is that the youth are rising. The youth are saying, you leaders, if you do not do the right thing, we will replace you. So we need more Traorés in Africa. What's happening in Burkina Faso must be supported. What's happening in Niger must be supported. What's happening in Mali must be supported. The youth of Africa are sick and tired of being sick and tired. The issues of the root must be addressed. World Bank must stop giving us frivolous loans. World Bank must treat Africa fairly. Ours is a simple ask. We are simply saying to the world, we demand Africa that can be treated fairly, an Africa that can be treated as equals on the world stage, an Africa that is free of racism, bigotry, and hate. Our ask is a simple one. Our position is of stating the facts, stating the truth, constants that do not change. We're simply asking that the world does unto us what they would want done unto them. Anybody Anybody that has an issue that Africa has taken is somebody who is anti-earth. We want a peaceful world. We want a world that is just. And that is all we are asking. That is all our children are asking. Our children are saying we're tired of watching our uranium power 2/3 of France while they call us a dark continent. Our children are saying we're sick and tired of seeing our mineral wealth fund Western education while we don't have quality education in Africa. Our children are saying we're sick and tired of seeing our natural resources fund healthcare in the Western world while we don't have access to that Western world. So it is the revolution that has been proclaimed, the revolution the likes of Kwame Nkrumah and others had hoped for. While it may have taken us years to get where we are, the unfinished business that our Pan-African fathers started back in 1963 must be completed, and our youth in Africa are acutely aware of that. The leadership that is not awakening, the leadership that doesn't understand that imperialism no longer has room in Africa, neocolonialism no longer has room in Africa, colonization no longer has room in Africa, exploitation of Africa can no longer continue. A leader who doesn't understand that is a leader whose days are numbered. The African youth are not taking it anymore. The African youth are awakened. Their eyes are open. And they're saying, you either stand up and defend what belongs to us, or we will replace you. Plain and simple. The unfinished business that our Pan-African fathers, the unfinished business that Kwame Nkrumah and many others started, it must be completed. It must be finished. You and I, we have a responsibility. You make us accountable as your elders. Make your leadership accountable. If your leadership is not accountable, replace them. I thank you. As I was getting ready for today's lecture, I came across a quotation from the man we are honoring today, His Excellency Kwame Nkrumah. He said, "A state in the grip of neocolonialism is not master of its own destiny. It is this factor which makes neocolonialism such a serious threat to world peace." Following him, there was Marcus Garvey prior to him. He said, "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots." Jomo Kenyatta also reminded us that when the missionaries arrived in Africa, the Africans had the land and the missionaries had the Bible. They taught us how to pray with our eyes closed. When we opened our eyes, they had the land and we had the Bible. Finally, Patrice Lumumba said, "The day will come when history will speak. Africa will write its own history. It will be a history of glory and dignity." Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment.
Come on, phone. We are live. Let's go.
you.